So here we are at the final couple of weeks of our online communication class. We've presented speeches, read chapters in the textbook, and taken quizzes to better our communication skills. While this and other online courses I've taken have improved my skills and achieved the course's goals, I've made some observations about online learning that I wish I had known before starting back at college this semester. Considering that there are some things that I will talk to you about to make it easier for your next class registration. Students have different reasons for choosing to take an online class as opposed to an on-campus class. For me, the convenience of working around my work schedule was a plus. Also, last semester I took 2 online courses and did very well in those. Being self-motivated, structured, and adequate with my computer skills, it really helped me with those 2 classes. For these reasons, I'm very pleased with the online format. However, online learning can have challenges that students sometimes don't think about before selecting their classes. For example, the main difficult aspect of this online communications class was surprising to me. It had to do with the delivery of the speech to a recording device instead of to an audience. I'm comfortable with speaking in front of people. I do it at my job every day, and the camera doesn't give the subtle feedback that people give you while speaking to them, such as facial expressions, body language, or eye contact. Also, the old speaker's trick to manage nervousness about imagining your audience naked doesn't work as well with the camera as it does with people. Some students choose online classes for the specific reason of not having to speak in front of others. A friend of mine who recently completed her degree told me that she took her speech class online for that reason, because she was too self-conscious to stand in front of a class. So in her case, it helped her. Another reason online classes can be different than attending in-person classes is that some techniques or skills that are taught in the course, you may not be able to exercise those as well in the online version. One technique we were taught in this class was in Chapter 2 of our textbook, Public Speaking for College and Career, and it was to walk around. It's recommended to manage nervousness and to be a more interesting, engaging speaker with your audience. The presenter can use a lectern or a podium as home base and walk a few paces to one side while making a point, and then return back to home base and then to another direction while making another point. And it's not as easy to do that with a recorded speech unless you set the camera really far away and have a wide angle that would capture anywhere that the speaker may walk to. Final reason that online courses are more challenging than in-person classes is in the group interaction, such as discussions and peer feedback. Human beings are social, collaborative creatures and can collectively learn in group settings. Dr. Spencer Keegan has conducted a lot of research on collective learning, concluding that, among a lot of other things, collective learning has a positive effect to student engagement to the class and to the material being taught in the class. The use of group discussions in an online course doesn't have the same personal engagement as in person, and a student may not experience the collective learning like Dr. Keegan is speaking of. For my biology class this semester, I took the lecture portion of it online. Engaging in the discussion posts for that class on each chapter didn't engage me in the same way or as deeply as last semester's biology class, which I took in person. These points are not to suggest that online learning is inferior to in-person learning. It's only different. There can be many benefits to the online learning. Some students don't have the ability to go to class at a specific time, or they may not be able to travel to the campus of the college that they're enrolled in, or the professor giving the class may not be available to be at an in-person class like they could for an online class. Also, for someone who is less comfortable in group settings, an online class can be the way to go if shyness would be a barrier to their learning. This is one of the disadvantages that Dr. Keegan mentioned in his studies on collective learning. Further, if a student is very comfortable with the material and is mainly getting a refresher on knowledge that they already have as opposed to brand new learning, the benefit of an on-campus class is reduced. What I propose is that a student takes a careful measure of which format of class is appropriate for their circumstances and needs, weighing the pros and cons. If the material is more difficult, unfamiliar, involves interpersonal skills, then the student should opt for an on-campus class if possible. However, if the student is highly introverted to where the person interacting with others would defeat their goal of learning, then they should go for an online class. Also, if a student's good with time management and has challenges such as time scheduling or geographic location, or if they're really at ease and comfortable with the course material, then they should lean towards the online class. Do not under any means assume that one type of class will be easier than the other, because you'll probably be wrong. Applying this simple checklist will help students to succeed in their pursuit of a degree and minimize the chances of having to drop out and wasting tuition money because they didn't select the format that was best suited. Thank you.